Hey, I'm Diane, and it's been 2 full years since I got laid off at 53. I remember the day. It was the end of 2023, and I knew it was coming. You always know, don't you? There's that shift in the air, the hushed conversations that stop when you walk by, the way your manager won't quite look you in the eye, and then it happens, and they say something about restructuring and difficult decisions, and you stop hearing the words. You nod. You say, I understand. But you don't understand anything. Because how do you understand 20-something years of work just vanishing? I was 53, and I thought I'd be fine. I've got skills. I've got decades of experience. I'll just find another job. That was 2 years ago, and I still haven't found full-time work. I've applied to hundreds of positions, and I'd hear nothing. Or I'd get to an interview, and I could feel it. That look on their faces. She's too old. She'll want too much money. She won't fit in with the team. They never say it, but you feel it. And after months and months of that, I had this moment. I was sitting right here at this desk, staring at my bank account, and I realized nobody's coming to save me. No dream job is coming, no recruiter, no miracle. I have to figure this out myself. So that's what I've been doing for 2 years. And today I want to show you the 5 income streams that are keeping me alive right now. Because I know a lot of you watching this are in the same place. You got laid off, or you're about to, or you're just exhausted from sending applications into the void. And you need to know what the options actually are. But before I get into all that, I want to tell you who I was. Because I think it matters. I didn't just lose a job. I lost an identity. I spent over 2 decades building a career. I worked hard. I was good at what I did. I built things, managed projects, learned every new tool and platform that came along. I was the person people came to when they needed something figured out. And I loved parts of it. I really did. The problem solving, the creative work, the feeling of being competent and needed. But there were costs. There are always costs. I remember this one stretch, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, when I was working insane hours. I was on calls early in the morning and still working at 10 p.m., and my life outside of work just shrank. Everything shrank to fit around the job, and I told myself, it's temporary. Just get through this project. Just get through this quarter, and then I'll have balance. But there was always another project. Another quarter, another reason why this wasn't the right time to slow down. And then 2008 happened, the financial crisis, and I watched people I admired, smart, talented, experienced people, lose everything. And there was this one person, a mentor of mine, and they were broken by it, because they'd given everything to their career, and their career just threw them away. And that terrified me, because I thought that could be me someday. So I got serious about money. I read about financial independence. I learned about this concept of life energy, that every dollar you spend represents hours of your life that you traded for money. So I started saving aggressively, living below my means, building a cushion, and I did that for years. I was disciplined. I was careful. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Even when you have savings, even when you've been careful and responsible for decades, watching that money drain every single month while you can't find work, it changes you. It makes you desperate in a way that's hard to explain to someone who hasn't been through it. Because savings aren't infinite, they have an end. And every month you get closer to that end, the fear gets louder. And I think about all those years I spent building someone else's business, all those late nights, all those weekends, and now I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to survive on my own. And some days I'm angry about it, and some days I'm just tired. But I'm still here, and I'm still trying. Anyway, all right, so the first thing I tried was freelancing. And I need to be honest with you about this one, because it's not the success story you might expect. I signed up for the big freelancing platforms pretty quickly after getting laid off. I figured I've got skills, I've got experience, people will hire me. And at first I got some work. But here's what nobody tells you about these platforms. It's a race to the bottom. There are thousands of people competing for the same jobs, and many of them are willing to work for a fraction of what the work is actually worth. So you either lower your rates until you're making less than minimum wage, or you don't get hired at all. I recently deleted one of my accounts entirely. I will never go back to that platform. I'm still on one other platform, but I'm not sure how much longer that'll last either. And this is the part that really gets me. I have decades of experience, real skills, proven results, and I'm competing with people who undercut me by 80% because they can afford to. So freelancing has been a mixed bag. Some months it brings in a little, some months it's nothing, and the emotional toll of constantly pitching yourself and getting rejected, it's like the job search all over again, just smaller and more frequent. But I'm not giving up on it completely, because even a little bit of income matters when you're trying to stay afloat. The second stream of income, and this one surprised me, is affiliate marketing through Amazon. Over the years, I've written a lot of blog posts, I've made content, and scattered throughout all of that content are Amazon affiliate links. So when someone clicks one of those links and buys something, I get a small commission. And it's not a lot. Let me be clear about that. We're talking small amounts every month. But here's the thing. It's consistent. Every single month, a little bit of money comes in from those links, without me doing anything new. And I know that if I put more time into this, if I placed those links in more locations, if I updated old content, if I created new content specifically designed to drive affiliate sales, I could grow this. That's something I'm going to be focusing on going forward. Because passive income, even small passive income, is a different kind of freedom. I also have a few books published through Amazon's self-publishing platform. Low to medium content books that bring in a small but consistent amount every month. And I'm planning to grow that significantly. I want to create more books, and I'm going to share the whole process, what I'm creating, why, and how, right here. Because I think a lot of people don't realize this is even an option. All right, so the third thing, and this might be the most accessible one for anyone watching, is eBay. I've actually been selling on eBay since the late 90s. Not as a full-time thing, just whenever I find something I think I can flip for a profit. But when I needed money after the layoff, eBay became a lifeline. And here's what I did. I grabbed my phone, opened up the eBay app, and I just started walking around my house. And there's this camera feature in the app where you can scan items and it'll show you what that exact item is selling for right now. And I was shocked. You probably have more things of value than you think you do. That old gadget in a drawer, those collectibles on a shelf, things you forgot you even owned. I started listing stuff, and things started selling. Now, I have to be real with you. eBay takes fees. Shipping costs add up, especially if you underestimate them like I did on half my early listings. And driving to garage sales and flea markets costs time and gas money. There was this one weekend I drove 40 minutes to a sale because the listing looked promising. Got there. Everything was picked over. I bought one thing, sold it for a few bucks more than I paid, and after fees and gas, I basically broke even. But then there are the good days, the days you find something nobody else spotted, the days a random item sells for way more than you expected. There was this one garage sale about a month back. An older man was selling his late wife's things. And while I was looking through boxes, he started telling me about her. How she'd been a teacher for 35 years. How she'd collected vintage kitchen items. How she'd always said she'd open a little shop someday, but never got around to it. And he said she always thought she had more time. And I just stood there holding this old ceramic mixing bowl, and I thought, that's the whole thing, isn't it? We all think we have more time. So yeah, eBay isn't going to make me rich, but it's money. Real money that helps cover real bills. And when you're trying to survive, every single dollar counts. If you're outside the US, eBay works differently in different countries. Fees vary, shipping is more expensive internationally, and some countries have VAT to deal with, so just keep that in mind. My fourth stream of income is Etsy, and this is the one I think has the most potential. I started an Etsy shop focused on digital products, and here's what's exciting about it. I've started making sales without running any ads, and without having that many products listed. The key has been research. I've been spending time finding underserved niches on Etsy, looking for keywords that people are searching for but that don't have a ton of competition, and then creating digital products that fill those gaps. And I'm not going to pretend I've cracked the code. I'm still early in this, but the fact that sales are coming in organically without me paying for ads tells me there's something here. I'm planning to go deep on this. I want to expand my product line significantly, and I'm going to share the whole process right here. How I decide what products to make, how I build them, how I list them, what's working and what isn't. Because I have a feeling that Etsy is going to become one of my primary income sources. The margins on digital products are incredible once you've created them. There's no shipping, no inventory, no materials cost. Someone buys it, they download it, and the money goes into your account. For people watching outside the US, Etsy works globally. But if you're selling to international buyers, make sure you understand the customs and tax rules for digital products in different countries. And the last stream of income, the one that's changed everything, is Substack. Substack is a platform where you can write a newsletter and charge people to subscribe. It's like having your own publication. I started my Substack just a few months ago, and I started making money on it by the end of the very first month. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this has changed my entire business model. Because Substack isn't just an income stream, it's become the central hub of everything I'm building. Here's why. When I write on Substack, I'm connecting directly with people who are going through the same things I am. People who got laid off in their 40s and 50s. People who are tired of being invisible. People who want to build something of their own instead of waiting for permission from a system that doesn't want them. And that connection, hearing from readers, understanding what they need, learning what problems they're trying to solve, that's what drives everything else. It tells me what digital products to create, what topics to make videos about, what blog posts to write. It's not throwing spaghetti at the wall anymore. It's building something intentional based on real conversations with real people. Someone emailed me last week, and she said she'd been laid off 8 months ago and hadn't told anyone because she was ashamed. And she found my newsletter and felt, for the first time, like she wasn't alone. And that's worth more than money. That's worth more than any job I ever had. Because here's the thing. When I was working in corporate, I spent years building things that didn't really matter to me. I made other people successful. I built other people's dreams. And at the end of the day, they forgot about me in a week. But this matters. Because I'm helping people. Real people who are scared and tired and just need to know someone else understands. So this is the one I'm betting on. This is the thing I think can actually become sustainable. Okay, so let me be real about where I am right now. I'm 55 years old. I've been out of work for 2 years, and I have 5 income streams that together are keeping me alive. Barely. Freelancing brings in a little. Amazon affiliate marketing and my books bring in a little more. eBay helps when I find good items to flip. Etsy is growing, and Substack is becoming the center of everything. Is it enough? Not yet. I'm not going to pretend it is. But here's what I want you to understand. Every single one of these income streams is growing. Slowly, yes, but growing. And more importantly, every single one of these belongs to me. Nobody can lay me off from my own business. Nobody can restructure me out of existence. Nobody can sit me down on a Zoom call and tell me my position has been eliminated. And I'm this close. I am this close to my income streams getting to the point where even if someone offered me a full-time job, I would say no, because there is no way I would trade what I'm building for going back into a system I don't believe in anymore. I don't do DoorDash. I don't do Uber Eats. I don't do any of the gig economy stuff. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but because I'm building something different. I'm building my own thing, using the skills and the knowledge and the decades of experience that I have. And I do tons of experiments every single week, testing what works, testing what doesn't, and I share all of it right here. Look, I spent over 20 years trading my life energy for money. That's what work is. You trade hours of your life, hours you'll never get back, for dollars. And for most of that time, I was trading my life for someone else's profit, someone else's vision, someone else's dream. And now I'm done with that. I'm building a community of people who are taking their wisdom and their years of experience and turning it into their own income. People who refuse to be invisible, people who refuse to be thrown away. We're figuring this out together, not alone, not quietly, together, because the future is unwritten. It's the undiscovered country, and we get to write that story now. Not some corporation, not some algorithm that decided we're too old, born old, or too expensive. US. So if you've been laid off, or if you're in danger of being laid off, or if you're just tired of the system, you need to be here. You need to be part of this. Leave a comment. Tell me your story. Tell me what you're building. Tell me how you're surviving, because I want to know. And maybe we can figure this out together. I'm Diane. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.